Hi darlings, welcome back to the channel. It's Anna with you here, and today we are once again on our beach right here in Albir, enjoying very nice warm weather, although right now there are some clouds in the sky, but still it's very nice outside. So let's start with the situation for the day of today here in our sunny Spain. First of all, for the last 24 hours we have slightly more cases, and they've said we have 10,143 new detected cases here in Spain, which is approximately 1,000 more than the previous day. But it doesn't mean that the situation is getting worse. It just means that yesterday they did a lot more testing than the previous days. The index of people getting sick is still on the same level, and it's 230 for every 100,000 of people. Before last Friday we had 235, then we went to 232 at the beginning of this week, and now we are at 230, which is very good, because it means that we are not getting towards the limit of the high risk here in Spain. We are still in medium risk, which is just amazing. Of course, it would be better that we would be in low risk, as for example our region. Slowly but surely we are getting towards the numbers that we want to have, so hopefully everything will just get better from now on. The European Parliament, very important news that they told us yesterday in the evening, that they finally approved the green certificate, the green passport for this virus, which means that it will be starting from June this year. They've also said that they will approve the free PCR tests for all the tourists from European Union. As soon as June will start, there's going to be a huge change. All the borders will be opening. There won't be any kind of other restrictions apart from having the green certificate, in which, as you might know, it's going to be either that you've got 2 doses of the vaccine, that you're fully vaccinated, or that you've passed the virus and when it was, or that you have the PCR testing done and it's negative and you're safe to travel. So everyone who would like to travel will need to have this green certificate in order to be able to arrive and move through all the countries here in the European Union. So all the borders will be open in June. It's just amazing news. It's been so long. It feels like it's been years and years since all this situation has happened, but it's not actually been that long. The other very necessary and interesting and useful news is that tomorrow the border between Portugal and Spain will finally be opening. Starting from tomorrow, all people from Portugal are able to travel to Spain, and from Spain to Portugal. Some people of you were asking when it's going to be happening, so this is the answer. From tomorrow, the border will be finally open. The rest of the situation is actually not as bad as we thought it might be. Here in our region, we are still in a low risk. We're still fighting to survive. We are still opening bars and restaurants. A lot of people are at the bars until 10 o'clock at night. It's very nice to see that the cities and towns are more alive during the evening time than they used to be. All the shops are also open. It kind of seems that the situation is getting back to normal, so hopefully it's gonna be continuing that way, because it somehow feels that we are getting back to our normal lives that we lost more than a year ago, which just feels amazing to be able to see that people are going out. We can have a drink, especially right now when the weather is very nice outside and you don't really want to stay at home at 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. And as soon as the official state of alarm will be over on the 9th of May, probably we even will be able to stay a little bit more outside, not only until 10 o'clock at night. So this is just going to be the new beginning, the new normality for all of us. By the way, next week on Wednesday, I think I've mentioned it before, but just in case, next week on Wednesday, the ministers here from Spain will gather together and decide on the new measures once the state of alarm will be officially over. So next week, Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to definitely let you know what's going to be happening after 9th of May here in Spain. And there's going to be a lot to tell. There's going to be a lot of changes. So don't miss this video in the middle of next week. Next news here from Spain is that OSBEC, which is like a huge syndicate here in our Valencian region that is in charge of transmit to the government all the questions, all the problems from the hotels here in Benidorm area, Alicante, Valencia, and so on. And basically they are firmly asking the European Union so that they would give the same treatment to the tourists from the UK as they do with European Union countries. Because as I've already said, the European Parliament has said they will give the free PCR testing for all the tourists from European Union. But since UK is not in the European Union anymore, in this case, it's not a very good news, because it would mean that UK residents would still need to pay for the testing in order to come to Spain. They basically, how they argument this situation. They say that in our region and in a lot of different regions in Spain, the majority of tourism is from UK as it is, which is basically true. So in this case, the logical thing to do would be to provide these tourists the same rights than for the ones who are coming from European Union, and provide them the free PCR testing. Hopefully European Union will approve this, because it would mean that it's going to be a lot easier for you guys to come here and you wouldn't need to pay extra €100 for every PCR test per person. If it's not going to be the case, a lot of people, I think, would just probably look for a better option, because not all people can pay extra hundreds of euros for the whole family in order to come to Spain. So let's see what's going to happen. It's only a week or two left before they have to make the decision, so we're definitely gonna check it out, and as soon as we will know some changes about it, I'm definitely gonna let you know. The last news that I wanted to share with you is some people were asking me, especially the ones who were planning to move to Spain and they have children, or the ones that have smaller children here and are planning to move to other regions and put them to one school or the other. They were asking me how the situation with bullying is here in Spain. So there is one news that I want to share with you, is that in the situation is very different from public school to the private one. Let's start with this. In a public school, 1 of every 5 children, which is basically 20%, it's still not a lot, but it's a number. 20% at least once have suffered bullying, or like, let's start with the beginning, that bullying here in Spain is not only physical force, not only that someone hits you or does something physical to you. No. Here in Spain, bullying is even if only someone psychologically is bullying you. Someone tells you something, like at school, one of your friends tells you something bad about you. This is also considered bullying here in Spain. So you don't need to get until the physical force to be considered something bad. It's even psychological, it's negative messaging in the social media. This, everything, all this is considered bullying here in Spain. So 20% have suffered it at least once in public schools, and only 30% of all these cases were somehow ended up successfully from the part of school. So school helped parents to somehow neutralize this situation. The rest were only parents by themselves who somehow were able to just minimize all this situation. Either they had to change children from school, or they talked to the parents of the other child, so they themselves took some measures in order to prevent this from happening. The difference between public and private schools, as I've already said, is very high. In public schools, there are a lot of children in the classroom as well. There's a lower amount of teachers for the same amount of children, and it's just they are not able to see everything that they should sometimes see. And there are, I'm not sure if it's a good thing to say, but in public schools there are not such strict measures and norms, rules that they need to follow, and due to this, children basically feel that they can do everything they want and they will never ever be somehow punished for it. In private schools, it's very different. They have special rules that they have in the diaries of the children, and in private schools it's very harsh with all this. As soon as they see there is some kind of a problem with the children, they immediately call the parents out. They immediately put some restrictions for this child. They can even send him to homeschooling until the situation will get better. They expulse the children. So basically, if there's one child that did something to the other and both parents and the child don't change their behavior, so then they will just simply give you the money back and they will say, okay, this is not how we see our students. This is not how our school is. So please take your money back and go to the other private school or get to the public one. This is how it's working here in Spain. So there is some part of a bullying. It's not bullying as we feel as a bad word, like hitting and things like that. It's more a psychological one that is here in Spain, which is sometimes even a worse one than a physical one. This is why you have to make a choice when you bring your children here, and if you can, choose the private school, a good private school, because in the public ones, as I've already said, there's too many pupils, too many students for the low amount of professors, so they don't usually see what's happening. So this is what's basically happening here in our sunny Spain. As for the weather, I must say that it's a lot better than we thought it would be. There is no rain here on the Mediterranean area. It's very sunny. There are some clouds, but basically all the rest of the sky is just blue sky like our Mediterranean Sea water. The situation will be approximately the same during the weekend, this weekend. By the way, tomorrow we have the International Workers' Day here. It's a bank holiday. And on Sunday we have Mother's Day. So during this week, a lot of families will go out and enjoy their time with their children and loved ones. As you can see in this first picture, the rainy days and clouds will, the majority of them will be on the north part of Spain, and the rest will be or partially cloudy or sunny. Tomorrow a little bit of the same, and the rain will be only in some north part, which is very good news because before we thought the rain will be in the whole Spain during all weekend. So the situation is clearly getting better. Next week we will have very sunny weather, a very nice one. Temperatures will get slightly higher. And by the way, as for the temperatures, this is the second picture. And here you can see that temperatures decreased only on the north part of Spain, where it's going to be raining. In the rest part of Spain, plus the islands, the temperatures remain the same. By the way, today there's going to be some slight rain on the second part of the day in Canarian Islands, in Tenerife and Las Palmas. Today in the north part of Spain, it's supposed to be between 5 and 13 degrees. In the center, 8 to 16. In the south part, 14 until 22. And here in Mediterranean area, our lovely sunny area, there's going to be between 17 and 25. In Alicante and Benidorm, it's going to be approximately 21, 22 degrees. So it's just perfect weather to go out to the beach and enjoy the sunshine. In Barcelona, it's going to be slightly less, 18. In Granada, 19. Malaga and Marbella, 21. In Sevilla, 22. Madrid, the capital of Spain, 17. Murcia, which is south from Alicante, will be 25 degrees. This is an absolute maximum for the day of today in whole Spain, including the islands. In Balearic Islands, which are Mallorca, Menorca and Ibiza, will be 21, and Canarian 23, even though it's going to be raining some parts of the day today, but the temperatures are still very nice. In Valencia, which is north from us, will be approximately 19 degrees, and the water temperature is still 17.3, which is getting towards already very comfortable temperature to be able to swim. These were all the news for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching them. If you did, don't forget to subscribe if you still didn't do so, because there are a lot of interesting videos still waiting for you on this channel. I wish you a very light end of the work week today and the perfect beginning of the weekend. See you very soon with the next video. Bye.